There he is. He's on the move. Trying to figure out what is that poop in my yard right there. Looks like coyote poop, Danny. Pretty sure it's coyote poop. What are you doing, Danny? What are you doing, Danny? Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Sawmill. My name's Bill. This is Pirate Solutions Forestry, and it is Monday. Hope you guys all had a great weekend. And it seems to be, since I knocked out one of my lumber deliveries over the weekend, that seems to be today's going to be maintenance day. Maintenance day always stinks. I enjoy doing it because I've turned wrenches my whole life, so I like once I get into it, but it's the getting tools out and getting ready to go and all that stuff that kind of holds me back. So I have a couple things that I need to do today. I'm going to take you through. One of them is going to be repairing. I promised you guys that I would video repairing this brand new GB chain that came with the, if you didn't watch the video, guys, the end of the other video from my chainsaw milling last week, where it says fixing a FUBAR chain, and I filed on this a little bit. This is going to be quite a little project. I'm going to hand file through it, show you how I'm going to fix it. If you didn't watch those videos, you really should, so you understand what's going on. I'll take you through that a little bit here when I bring you over to the bench to show you what's going on with it. We got to file through that chain, get that saw put away. I'll probably make a couple cuts with it too, just to show you how it cuts. It won't be mill passes, but maybe just some cuts on one of these pine logs sitting over here. I also want to just freshen up the edge on the 42 that I did all the milling on before I put that away, so that's ready to go for the next time. It's fairly sharp now. I think it would be okay to put it away the way it is. There's no damage to it. It feels sharp, but it just makes more sense just to dust through the teeth really quick so that it's 100% the next time I have to pull it out. I got to change the fuel filter in my Bobcat and run some seafoam through it. The part throttle and periodic operation of this Bobcat ends up being a dirty way to run a diesel. You know, it's most of the time it starts up and doesn't run very long, does a lot of part throttle operation versus the way these things love to run is bang wide open all the time. And we're going to run, this is a pre-def Kubota in this, so it doesn't have regen cycles or anything like that, but we're going to run our own regen cycle on it. So what I'm going to do is, after I replace the fuel filter, put some seafoam in it, and fire up, I will actually crack it wide open throttle and let it sit here and run for 5 minutes or so, wide open throttle, so that it can clean itself out a little bit. So we're going to get to those things, and I'm going to take you along for the ride. Hopefully I get you some good views. I have some other saws to fix for customers that I'm going to work on a little bit. And hopefully at some point today, I'm going to get my face and head shaved, or I'm going to do it myself, one of the two. But that's what we're up to. So I'm going to take you along for the ride. Really the highlight of this video is going to be fixing this brand new GB chain. I got to stop saying rip chain. This GB chain that's filed over to a rip chain, and get those gullets sorted out so that this one's ready to go. I don't like to put saws away dull. This one definitely needs to be fixed. The 42 just needs to be freshened up. And I may file a couple of other saws just to try to keep myself busy today too. So let's get into it. So a quick explanation on what's going on with this chain. This chain was ground. I only made I think one cut with it the other day, and it cut nice and smooth. It did not cut fast, and I did not know why. It had been ground. It's sharp. It's basically brand new. It's all at 10 degrees, but there was a fatal problem with this chain. I have cutters on this side that have negative rake on them. So this view might not be the best, but there's no gullet on the tooth, and there's negative rake. The leading edge of the top of the tooth is actually behind the gullet. There's no C on it, like if you see this tooth that I repaired on video the other night. You see that one? That one's been repaired. And there's another one that I repaired. This one has been repaired. These teeth are gorgeous. Some of the teeth on the other side aren't bad. So if you see this tooth here that I didn't file, it's not bad. It's got an OKC on it. OKC, get it? OKC. It's not bad. It's not as good as this one, but it's not bad. But it's those negative rake teeth that you can see right here with a gullet. It's just not completed. It's like it was messed up at the factory or something. That needs to be fixed. Same thing with this tooth here. See the gullet? Sticking out past the tooth. There is no C there. There's no gullet. It's actually got negative rake. Even though the top of this tooth is sharp, it still has a burr on it. This just won't, it'll cut, but it just won't cut fast like all my other rip chains. So what we're going to do is we are going to repair these teeth that look like that and make them look like this. So your first view here, I'm going to give you a view of me working through some of these teeth. These next three teeth here on the left-hand side, left-hand cutters, they have no gullet, they have no rake. I'm going to have you watch me from there, repair those really quick. I'm going to rock through some of this chain, and then I'm going to get you a view down on top, up in real close while I'm doing some. And I'll show you the progress as we go. You can see I have one tooth painted here. That's where I started. I also did the one in front of it, I believe. And I'll show you how fast these come back. These are in really bad shape. And I did do this the other night, and I think the view that you're looking at right there is going to be the best view to watch from. Now, if I set this file in here, I could take this piece of metal off the bench. It's a fairly thick piece of metal, and I can fit it in between the cutting edge and the file. That's how far forward this gullet is. I'm going to show you how I'm going to rock through it. This is not a brandy new file, but I do have a brandy new file sitting over here for if this one just doesn't want to get cutting. And I'm also going to file it over to 10 degrees too. The first thing we have to do is address the gullet. As any of you who have ever watched Buck and Billy Ray Smith, this is the boat. All right. What I just did repaired the gullet. Now I'm going to work the gullet back until the file's touching the face of the tooth. So now I'm filing the gullet back. I'm also filing at 10 degrees too. There you go. Now I have the file in the gullet. The gullet's all filed out. I'm at 10 degrees. A couple more passes. That tooth is repaired. After I do these three, I'll take you in and show you a close-up of those. You get the red tooth here for reference. Same thing with the next one. There's an 1/8 of an inch in between the tooth the cutting edge in the file where it's hitting the gullet. Let's get rid of it. That's Bucking Billy Ray Smith's boat, as he calls it. A lot of you, if you have filing troubles, you've probably watched him. He is a great, great saw filer. Get in under the tooth, get it to 10 degrees. That one is repaired. Same thing with this one right here. Big, huge gap. We're going to file out the gullet really quick. We're going to let the saw file come back underneath the tooth a little bit. Get it at 10 degrees. File the cutting edge, 10 degrees. Those 3 teeth are repaired. Now, I'm going to take you out of the holder. I'm going to show you what those look like now versus what they did look like. So here is our red tooth, the one that I first showed you. And then these are the ones that I just filed over. You can see the burr on the top of the tooth. You can see the gullet is all nice and hogged out. Same thing here. 10 degrees. Maybe a shade more than 10 degrees on this one, actually. Somewhere around 10. You can see that that gullet is now repaired. I'll show you the C from the other side. I can't see through the viewfinder. Oh, there we go. Sorry. Nice C. Nice C. Nice C. Those teeth are fixed. They're sharp. They're ready to go. All I have to do is just do this to this whole chain and file the other side as well. Hopefully, not every tooth was FUBAR'd. So if you see this one, that's one of the ones that was bad. It's all fixed now. Look at the next one. It's actually got a gullet. It's ground all the way down. This one's got a gullet. It's ground all the way down. This one's got a gullet. It's ground all the way down. See if we can find another one that's bad. Almost looks like it was just a section of this chain. Sorry, keep you in frame here. Oh, here's one right here. See that one? Look it. There's no gullet. It was never ground all the way out. It's at 0 degrees instead of 10. The gullet's sticking out. You can see what that looks like versus the tooth in front of it. See how that one's all ground out? It's like it got missed at the factory. Now, there's a chance that I saw the price on this GB chain, and it was a great price, and I bought it. And this might be the reason why it was a great price, that it was just never completed at the factory. I'm embarrassed that I ever used it, to be honest with you. We got to fix this tooth too. This looks like the last one that needs to be fixed, and the rest of them just need to be filed. I mean, look at that tooth. That gullet's fine. That tooth, that gullet's fine. These have never been touched. So let's fix this one really quick. And we're back to our red tooth here. So it looks like this is the last one that needs to be ground out, and then it's just a filing. All right, so let's see if I can manage this view without hitting the camera. If you guys look, here's the gullet that we're dealing with right here. Sticking forward, if I put the file in here, you see the gap between the tooth and the file. That's how much needs to come out just to get us in the ballpark. Wow, the camera's right in the way. You guys can see it good though, so this might just take an extra second here, but I'm filing out the gullet first. See how the gullet's coming out? I'm getting the file back to the cutting edge. I'm trying to use the boat here, just trying to remove material. Now I'm starting to come in contact with the cutting edge now. I'm going to get myself at 10 degrees. Still going to file underneath the tooth. Then we're going to clean up the cutting edge. Sorry, I'm trying not to hit the tripod. It's right over me. Now one of the great parts, there actually is a little teeny spot on that that's not sharp yet. But one of the great things about this is you're not taking the leading edge here back, really. So the raker orientation isn't going to change. Just get that little shiny spot out of there. Make sure it's at 10 degrees. Still just one little shiny spot on the tip. There we go. All right, so this one's all repaired. See how the file fits in there now, right up against the tooth? At least I hope that shows up good on camera. It actually, you're seeing a shadow on the camera. I can see it. This file is right straight up against the cutting edge, but on the camera, it looks like there's a little parallax there. But 10 degrees now. 10 degrees filed out, 10 degrees filed out, 10 degrees filed out, 10 degrees filed out, 10 degrees filed out. These are repaired. Now look at this one. The file goes all the way in there. There's a whole gullet here on this one. It's been ground all the way. This one only going to take a little bit. There, that tooth is fixed. Same thing with this one. There's a little bit of gullet in there, a little bit of metal in there, but fixed. Just getting a little bump out of there. Fixed. File's starting to get dull. Fixed. There's two right-hand cutters there. Somebody made a post the other day about having, they said the steel dealer messed up their chain because there was two right-hand cutters on the chain. It's ridiculous. It's very, very common. Like you can see right here, back-to-back left-hand cutters. Actually, I missed this one. That one's all set. So all I'm doing right now is making sure they're 10, making sure I at least hit the cutting edge so it's nice and sharp. Making sure there's nothing in the way there. There was a little bump there. Let's make it 10. Nice. Just filing that little nub out of there. Trying not to hit the camera with the file. Perfect. Perfect. So these teeth aren't getting any shorter right now, in other words. I'm not filing the little bit of something in the way there. Oh, it's a hardened tooth. So in other words, I'm not taking the leading edge back. All I'm doing is taking this corner back to get it to 10 degrees and making it sharp. And then, so the relationship in height between that corner and the drags is not changing, which means that this won't take any setting. If I see any glinting, now I don't know if you guys can see this on camera, but I see some glinting on the top of this tooth right here, right in front of my file. And if I see any glinting, I'm going to take that out. I want to make sure that there's a nice clean line there with no glinting, so I know it's perfectly sharp. I'm not filing very hard right now. Some of these teeth are just perfect. They're nice and sharp. They're at a decent angle. I'm just freshening them up now and filing out the gullet and the side cutter. and giving them some fleam, which is that 10 degrees. That angle on the top of the tooth is called fleam. And giving them some fleam. You just don't want them zero. Zero will cut fine on a rip chain. Just cuts slow. It'll cut smooth, but it cuts slow. I don't like to mill slow. And also, you can cross-cut with these chains like this too, and you want to have some fleam if you're going to cross-cut with them. Makes them a little more versatile if you just need to hack a log off or take a chunk off a log, so you don't need another saw with you to do it. That's files starting to get warped. Finding a sharp spot on the file. Beautiful. I think I'm getting close here. When I do this right here, there's a little bump down in there. I don't know if you can see it's gone now. You see the shiny spot. Just making it round. Like that right there. There's just a little unfinished bump I just took out. So now my gullet's round again. Now I'm just going to file the cutting edge. Or file the gullet back under the cutting edge. File it to 10 degrees. Perfect. Get rid of my little nub there. Right there. File this one out to 10. Almost done, just a couple more teeth on this side. My little nub bump there. Wow, this one's got some stuff going on in it. We're going to recreate a new gullet. And then just file the tooth over to 10. Beautiful. Same thing there, get that little nub out. Oh, bounce you. Now file's running nice and smooth, nice and sharp, nice and fixed. Last tooth. Get our little nub out. It's really a mystery at how this chain got this way. It looks like there was about 6 or 7 teeth in a row that were missed. Somehow missed. I'm not sure how, but somehow not finished. Like they never went through the grinder. All right, that side's done. To get you guys a different view, and I'm just going to whip through the other side of the chain with a new file. So I'm going to do the other side of this chain. I like to work from over here when I do the other cutters. I'm going to do the other side of this chain in real time so you can see how long it takes to do a full comp 36, 104 drive length, I think, on steel, not 105. I think 105 is Husqvarna. And then I'll show you the teeth, but we'll just go through this whole side. And my red tooth's right here. I like to work on this side. I can look straight down. I got a brand new file. What I'm doing is I'm putting them at 10 degrees. As soon as I see the cutting edge move over to 10 degrees, it's done, because these were sharp to begin with. Oh, well, this one's got something in it. This one too. You can hear how smooth the file's running right now. This tooth is fairly well shaped. Hey, this one, there's the 2 left-hand cutters. Beautiful. Beautiful. When I'm looking down on it like this, I can really see the the angle very, very well, and I can watch the cutting edge just move across perfect. And also I can work very efficiently with my pressure this way because I can push kind of back into the chain a little bit. I actually cut a lot better from this side than I do the other side. When I was first taught to file, when I was a kid, they taught me to file until the file runs smooth, like that, where you don't feel any burrs. That was how I was taught when I was a kid to file a chainsaw chain. Just file until the file's not catching anymore, like that. Now, that wasn't a great way to teach, I can just say that. You know, it was almost at that point you had no idea what sharp was, and at that point a brand new chain always cut better than whatever you did. But I was only a kid, I was 15 years old. Now those days are gone. Now I can make these teeth do whatever I want them to do. And don't worry, I'll show you all these teeth when I'm done. Oh, this one's got some stuff in it. It's catching the file. I think you can see that. It's starting to clean up. There we go. Now it's running pretty smooth. And again, I'm not shortening these teeth any right now, guys. Seems like I'm taking a lot of strokes, but I'm really not. I'm just moving that cutting edge back on this side, and as soon as it cleans out to the tip, I'm done. Let's just go ahead and rock through the rest of this. And a little more flame on that one. Something in here. Oh, this tooth is weird. Only got a few more to go. This is one of those situations, I know we talked about it before, about how people that say my chain never cuts as good as factory. Well, this is one of those situations where factory was junk. And this chain is going to cut like a dream now. And it's like brand new. A nice brand new chain like this will last me milling a long time because I don't do a lot of milling anymore. Now, this tooth's in really good shape. Beautiful gullet. Nice and sharp. Same thing with this one. Beautiful gullet. Nice and sharp. It's like they did something right when they ground it. All right. Chain's done. Let's take a look at the teeth. All right, so I have you in my hands, so I apologize for the thing moving around, but just take a look down. Now we have good 10-degree fleam both ways. That one might be a little bit more. That one might be a little bit less. I got to address this tooth. This tooth has got something going on with it. I'll do that in just a second. But now we have nice C's on everything. Gullets are all gone. Everything's sharp. Everything's got fleam. Doesn't really matter whether it's 12 or whether it's 8, as long as it's got some fleam. But this chain has been completely repaired. Everything is sharp. Everything is prickly sharp. Nice and shiny gullets if I get the sun right. Like a brand new chain. In this case, better than a brand new chain. Let's address that tooth right there. It's kind of weird. You know, if you look at these two teeth here, guys, you see that? That tooth smaller than that tooth? This tooth looks short compared to this. This is a brand new chain. So you see brand new brand new. Look at that tooth. It's not, I don't think that's an optical illusion either. It's got a great C on it. It feels sharp. It does have a burr on the top. I guess it's not that bad. But doesn't that look shorter? Yeah. I mean, new, short. It does look short. That's weird. All right, well, let's tie this one up. So I know that was a cross cut with a rip chain, but that was just a cut with zero pressure on it. No down pressure. It self-fed the whole way. Nice solid pitch pine here. I was going to do a rip cut with it, but there was a bunch of dirt in the bark and it didn't make any sense to dull this thing before I put it away, because that's the whole goal, is to get it put away sharp. So I came up here just to show you that it will self-feed right through this. I did have a log in the background there, so I had to kind of hold back on it so that I didn't bump into that one. There's a bunch of dirt encrusted on the end of it there. I was just trying to make a nice clean cut, no down pressure, just let it self-feed through the log. Obviously I feathered the throttle. I could have gone a lot harder at it, but just to show you that now this chain's repaired, this chain's sharp, this chain's ready to go and do its job as a rip chain, even though it will still crosscut. So now my two main mill saws are all sharp, ready to go, get put away, hopefully to where I don't have to use them for a little while. But I know that they're sharp, they're ready to go. They've got fresh fuel in them. They start right up, they run great. Those saws sat for almost a year. So I was really questioning, you know, how gummed up they were going to be, but running red armor in them, awesome. Now, I'm running steel in them right now. I'm running steel mix because my local dealer stopped selling red armor. I've got to go to Home Depot and see if they have some. But these have got a little bit of seafoam in them, so that should stabilize the fuel while they sit. I don't know how long it will be, but I do know this, that the next time that I pull them out, I will toss them in a mill and they will flat out cut. And that's the important part about putting away a sharp saw. Sharp, clean, I cleaned them. And I'm ready to go for the next project, which is going to be changing the fuel filter in that Bobcat and running a little manual regen cycle on it, even though it doesn't have DEF fluid and regen cycles. But I'm going to go ahead, change it out, get it fired up, run it wide open, let it clean itself out. Thanks for coming along for the ride, guys. I hope that if you pick up anything from this, it's going to be how nonchalantly I go through and sharpen my chains. So it doesn't seem like such a monumental task for most people, because it really does. You know, most people just don't want to do it because they feel like they cannot sharpen them as good as they were in the beginning. And when they do sharpen them, they don't cut good and they get frustrated and they don't want to learn about sharpening. But I can promise you, it's no harder than the way I make it look. You just need to concentrate on the right things. Getting your top cutter sharp, your side cutter sharp, and your drag set right is the most important thing in chains. The geometry can be close. It doesn't have to be perfect. You're sharpening crosscut chains to 25. It doesn't matter if they're 23 and 28 and 22 and 30. And you know, after a while, you'll get better at it and you'll be able to eyeball it. But even as much as I do it, I never get them all perfect, and it doesn't matter, guys. The relationship between the drag, the depth gauge, the raker, and the tooth is much more important. The fact that they're sharp and there's no damage to the teeth. If there's damage on a tooth, you have to file it out or grind it out. Sometimes I'll throw them on a grinder. I have 3 of them. If the damage is so, and the other part, when I'll grind a chain is when it's not on a saw. I am very, very rarely going to pull a chain off a saw to grind it. So if I have a chain, like on that 36 with the Sumara bar that we did the repair job on, I pulled the crosscut chain off that saw and put a rip chain on it out of my pack. The crosscut chain's got damage to it. I'm not going to put that crosscut chain back on a saw to file it. I'll run it through my grinder and then use my raker rock to take the rakers down and turn it back to factory. I will grind it at factory specs, make it perfect, and then grind all the rakers to a consistent depth since it's not on the saw. But I will very, 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 very rarely take a chain off a saw to put on the grinder. One of the only other times that I'll do it is if a customer brings me 5 saws, says these are all messed, and every one of them starts and runs. They're all just dull and they've hit rocks and they're all really wasted. If they're all similar, let's say they're all 3/8 decent sized saws, I will take all the chains off, go in, put my rock on, grind all the chains the same, all the teeth the same size, grind them all sharp, put my raker rock on, set all the rakers on all of them. And you know, that's one time that I will do it. Then I'll put them back on every saw, blow all the saws out, take all 5 saws back to the customer. They've got to be really, really rocked. If I think that it's going to take me quite a while in files to file them out, there's no sense in going through 5 saws when I can grind them in 20 minutes. Do all 5 chains in 20 minutes with no problem. So that's another time that I'll do it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it'll make you take the training wheels off and hand file your saws. The better you get at it, the better they're going to cut. You will get to the point where it's just second nature. I promise you that. And for Danny, who is just not going to let whatever rodent is under this thing off the hook today, he's going to stay here all day. And myself, we always appreciate the watch. Make sure you give us a thumbs up, leave a comment. I answer them all back. Hit the little notifications bell so you know when we're putting up a video. And for now, for Danny and myself, Spire Solutions out.